Professor Warglees here. We are on lecture number 30. We are talking about our jQuery plugins. We just finished number 2. We're moving on to number 3, Bieberize.html. So right-click on the file, do a view and edit. And this is what you're going to see. So I'm doing the same as before. I am passing in the jQuery reference as a parameter. I am using the jQuery's prototype to create a function called Bieberize. Now, Bieberize is going to have a for loop, and I'm going to start the counter at 0. Now, Bieberize is going to have a for loop, so I'm using the each method. Every element that's matched, I'm going to append the image of Bieber, which is Justin Bieber, to that element. Then I'm going to increment this counter by 50. So for the first element, it's going to append immediately. And then the next match element is going to wait 50 milliseconds. And then the next match element is going to wait 100 milliseconds. Now, remember, in the each method, the keyword this is the DOM object, and $this is the jQuery object. So in order for this to work, I'm going to preserve the DOM this, store it to that, and I'm going to use the jQuery this to call the append method. If I do the keyword this and then do the dot notation, it's going to access the DOM methods, not the jQuery method. And this append is actually jQuery. So I'm going to use the jQuery this to append Justin Bieber to that element. Now, if I scroll down, you'll see once the DOM is finished loading, I have a button called Bieberize. Once you click the button, any class that is equal to special will be Bieberized. Okay, so we can see this run. Make sure you save the code. We're going to go back on the browser. We're going to open up number 3, Bieberize, and I'm going to select the Bieberize button. And you'll see it happen very quickly. You'll see the first element that was matched had Justin Bieber appear instantly. Then the second element, it waited a little bit longer, and then the third element waited a little bit longer. So it was 0 milliseconds, 50 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds. Now, you're not going to be able to see that very easily, but you can kind of see it. It goes da 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 da. So it appears not all at the same time, but after 50 milliseconds, the next image appears. And if I keep clicking the button, you're going to see me Bieberize this page. Now, this was Justin Bieber when he was young and cute. Of course, he doesn't look like this anymore, but when he did look like this, everybody loved him. You're going to see me Bieberize this page, and it's starting to become a nightmare. If you refresh the page, the nightmare's gone. Okay, so I have a function called Bieberize. It's going to loop through all the matched elements. So you'll see in this case I have 3 elements. It's going to put it on the first element and wait 50 milliseconds for the next one, and then wait 50 milliseconds for the next one. Now, if I change this to 500, you can see this set timeout function take place. So I'm going to update the code, do a refresh, and click the button. So you see it a little bit slower now. And in order for you to understand this, you probably want to know what the set timeout function is. So if you go to the web, search JavaScript, set timeout, go to W3 Schools. The set timeout method calls a function or evaluates an expression after a specified number of milliseconds. Remember, 1,000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. The function is only executed once. If you need it to repeat, use the set interval method. But that's okay. I have it in a for loop. So it's going to match the first element, set timeout, match the second element, set timeout. So I don't want it to keep repeating and putting unlimited Biebers on the page. So you can see here, if I try this example, it's going to display an alert with hello after 3 seconds. So I click the button, 1, 2, 3, it appears an alert with hello. Okay, and that's exactly what we're doing. We don't want everything to show up at once. We want it to show up on the first element, second element, then third element. So I'm Bieberizing the page. It just makes it have a nice user experience. Instead of all appearing at once, depending on what you like, you can adjust the function accordingly. But this is how you Bieberize a page. I have more examples to show. Stick with Professor Wergeles, and we'll see you in the next video.